Best month to visit Jamaica. If you want to get the most out of your trip to Jamaica, you should schedule it during the month that provides the most favorable conditions for your preferences. Because of this, you will be able to get the most out of your trip in the Caribbean. It is commonly believed that the months of December through April are the greatest time to visit if you are looking for the ideal weather conditions and an atmosphere that is full of energy. This is due to the fact that these months include the climatic conditions that are most favorable. During this time period, Jamaica is experiencing its dry season, which is marked by high temperatures, clear skies, and a minimal quantity of rainfall. This season is characterized by the absence of precipitation. Because of the activities that take place between Christmas and New Year's, the month of December in particular is a season that is synonymous with a great deal of happiness. Because of these activities, the island is filled with a lively and joyous spirit, which contributes to the month of December being a highly festive month. In the course of the Christmas season, the streets and beaches are decked out with seasonal decorations, and there are a great deal of activities, parties, and concerts that take place during this time of the year. The travel expenses, on the other hand, are far more than they would normally be during this peak season, and there are a greater number of people involved than is typical. Even though there are a few less tourists than there were in December, the holiday celebrations continue all the way through the month of January. As an additional point of interest, the number of tourists is lower than it was in December. Because the weather is so pleasant during this month, it is the perfect time to take advantage of Jamaica's gorgeous beaches and to take part in activities that take place outside. The month of February continues to be a good month to visit due to the fact that it is characterized by beautiful weather and a reduced degree of congestion in comparison to other months. Because of this, the beginning of the month is an excellent time to learn about Jamaican culture and to travel across the island at a more leisurely pace throughout the month. This is because the month is just beginning. In spite of the fact that spring break results in an increase in the number of tourists that visit at the end of the month, March continues to be a month that provides extremely favorable weather conditions. Although this is the case, the month continues to offer a nice combination of warmth and a number of people that is somewhat manageable in comparison to other times of the year. It is anticipated that the island will have made the shift from the dry season to the wet season by the time the month of April arrives. A change of this nature is anticipated to take place. The weather is generally still warm and nice, and the number of people who are present has dropped in comparison to the number of months that have gone. This is despite the fact that it is very possible that you may see a few rains here and there. Jamaica's rainy season lasts from May until November and ends in November. For the entirety of the year, this season is in effect. This time period is characterized by a higher level of humidity and a larger possibility of precipitation, both of which may not be suitable for persons who want to be exposed to weather that is consistently sunny. To put this into perspective, it is still possible to encounter weather that is mostly consistent, with the possibility of showers coming on occasion during the early part of the rainy season, notably during the months of May and June. This is especially true during the months of May and June. As a result of the fact that there are fewer people and the prices are lower during this time, it is an excellent choice for tourists who are concerned about the amount of money they will spend. The peak of the summer season occurs between the months of July and September, and it is marked by higher temperatures and an increase in the amount of precipitation that falls during this time period. Furthermore, during the course of these months, there is a possibility that hurricanes and tropical storms will occur in various parts of the planet everywhere. Additionally, despite the issues that have been given, it is conceivable that you will be able to obtain decent prices on housing and flights during this time of year, despite the fact that there are challenges. This is because it is still a popular period for locals as well as some tourists. Before you make a decision on whether or not to travel during this time period, it is imperative that you keep a careful eye on the weather forecasts. This is because you are intending on traveling during this time period. When October and November arrive, the weather starts to become more steady, which is a sign that the hurricane season is coming to an end. This is attributable to the fact that the hurricane season is drawing to a close. In spite of the fact that there is a possibility that there will be some rain, there are also going to be a great deal of days that promise to be sunny. There are fewer people around during these months, which means that you might be able to save money on travel and housing because there are fewer people around. This is because there are fewer people around. In spite of this, it is prudent to keep a close check on the weather forecasts, despite the fact that tropical storms are still a possibility during this time of year. From December through April, The months that are typically considered to be the most suggested time period for experiencing the greatest weather and the most dynamic atmosphere are the months that fall between the months of December and April. The months of December, January, February, and March are the best times to go because they offer the most favorable conditions. You could want to consider taking your vacation in the month of April or during the shoulder months of May and early June as an alternative that is less taxing on your pocketbook and has a smaller number of people at the time. Despite the fact that the rainy season, which begins in July and lasts until November, may also result in lower pricing, it is essential to keep in mind that the weather during this time of year is known to be less dependable than it is during other seasons. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channels for more interesting and informative videos.